Welcome to this brand new video of the Target Individual Program, the Target Individual Experience. What I'm about to show you guys is how they use their agents, the civilian agents, those who participate in this program in terms of targeting TIs and sending uh, subliminal message in a way that um, that is geared towards the TI, right? So whether it be, like I said, using uh, other parties to ruin your relationship, um, to cause you to not trust anybody, to cause you to question your own sanity by them gaslighting you, to cause you um, trauma, okay? Psychological trauma. That's what they're doing. And because it's in the psychological realm, they think that they can get away with it, like I said, many times, right? And I'm going to show you guys what I am talking about. So, what they've been trying to do, and they've been doing this for years, is using my feelings towards my kid's mother, my youngest, my two youngest, right? And the fact that, because we were in a very long relationship, and they know that, and they basically got her to target me, and by giving her a position where they can secure her loyalty and they can use her to target me at any given time. Not also that, but the fact that she has no respect for me, um, looks down on me, and thinks that I'm the help. Okay, that's the feeling that I get from her actions. Okay, so apparently they think that what they're doing to me is justice. Okay, and I have heard that before through the subliminal messaging. Okay, now let me say this: I have not committed any crime. I have not been, um, or should I say, I have not committed any crime, whether it be physical, sexual, um, what's another word, like whether it be assault or what have you, whether it be any sort of crime that they want to insinuate. I have not committed any crime, period. And what they've been doing is they've been getting people that I used to know to lie in order to make me look bad, and using money as a tool to get them to participate and to lie, using money, using positions at, at their jobs or what have you to lie. Okay. And so, as long as they can make me the bad guy, these people that are around us as TIs don't really care. Okay. Because they've already threw you under the bus and they're out for their own skins and their own necks. Okay. That's what they're trying to save, their own necks. So, over the weekend, and again, this is what they do, and they use Pam to do this all the time, and I'm so used to it. But I thought I'd get into more of a detail, right? Just for the simple fact that I need other TIs who may be going through the same thing to understand what's going on and how they try to use your emotions and how they try to manipulate the people around you. Okay. And one of the things that they've been doing to us as black men, I'm gonna step aside for the TI community for a minute here, but in the black community with black men, is the villainization of black men, and particularly when it comes to villainizing black men in the eyes of black women. Okay, black women can do no wrong, whereas black men do all the wrongs, even when it's the woman's fault. Okay, even when the woman lie, there's no repercussion. Okay, but there's always a repercussion against the black men, the black man. Okay, or against black men, and I'm not kidding. Okay, the history shows it, and what a lot of black, and not all, but what a lot of black women have done and they've realized is how they can use the system, just like white supremacists, just like certain white people will use the system, law enforcement, against black men, like the Karens, who would call and lie and said, "Oh, this black man is assaulting me," while this man is telling her she shouldn't. There's a sign that says "No dogs allowed in this section of the park," and you guys seen the video, right? Had it not been for the video, that man would have been arrested, been charged with assault, and probably went to jail. But a lot of black women use those same things, those same tactics. When they don't get what they want, or when things don't turn out the way they expected, they lash out at the most suitable person, which is their significant other or their ex or what have you. If they're going through, breakup, what have you. And particularly when they come from a damaged background. Okay? When they come from a damaged background. And as a black man, I got to tell you, what the white supremacists have done is a masterful job of manipulating us, black men and black women, using various methods and tactics, using technology that, again, a lot of people don't want to believe it. Okay? But it's there. So anyway, all right, let's step back to, what I was originally talking about. So over the weekend, Saturday, Pam went out. And every time she goes out with whoever, she comes back, she don't speak to me. She don't say one word to me at all. Okay? A couple of days go by. All of a sudden, she's texting me, she's calling me. And I guess because maybe the person wasn't no longer interested. I don't know, And so I decided that this was the last time she was going to do this. Okay? And so I went today to watch the kids. You guys see my previous videos. For her, so she's going to attend a funeral. And she damn near took the entire day. No, I got up early because I even went to bed late because I still haven't been able to sleep properly. And so I got up, so I was very tired. I said, okay, maybe she'll be back by 3 o'clock. That's fine. Even 4 o'clock, that's fine. So she texted me saying that the wedding was over. Let me pull up the text. Okay. So at 12:33, she texted me to say, "Hey, the funeral is done. Going to get something to eat. I was just checking in." But she put, "I was just checking with him." you know. So I said, checking in with him. I said, okay, I think you texted the wrong person. So she's like, label, I meant to say I was just checking in. I didn't see the typo. Then she goes, her friend boyfriend is driving and making me nauseous and crazy. We went to Queens twice. This is rough. This is at 1:30. Okay. And that was the last time I heard of her for the day. I had to call her at What time did I call her? At 5:44. Okay, to see where she was. You know, and I guess she was in some restaurant, what have you. And I'm like, hey, I'm just wanting to know what time you coming. You know, and the thing is, like I said to her all the time, I say, I don't mind watching the kids for you. But when I do watch the kids for you, you take advantage all the time. You don't, things happen, you don't say, hey, let me give Nigel a call to give him a heads up, or I might be a little late or have you. Right? No. No. None of that. No consideration. Like she think I'm obligated. And I'm not obligated. I do it to help her out, and plus, you know, it's better for the kids that I'm around. But it seems like it's better for her because she gets to, you know, go out, which is fine. But when I have to go home, when I tell you, hey, I watch the kids for you, please be home at a decent time, you don't tell me, oh, I was having so much fun, I didn't think about you, or what have you, I was just having too much fun, and that's it. And then when I say no, she wants to get angry. That's what I have to deal with. Okay. So anyway, I've been telling her to get someone to pick up the kids during the day to take them to the boys and girls. Okay. And the reason being because since I've been doing it, she's been coming home late from work. Don't even call to say, hey, I'm going to be late, what have you. No consideration, right? The fact that I have to go home. And then she's always like, oh, when I come, you hang with the kids. I say, well, that's my choice. It's my time. You can't tell me what to do with my time. Just like I can't tell you what to do with your time. And the funny thing is, she used to tell me, well, you can't tell me what to do with my time. But yet she wants to tell me what to do with my time. You see how the one sidedness goes. And this is not just her, it's a lot of particularly black women that have this mentality that has been conditioned into them. So, I'm just trying to give you context. Okay. And that's her thinking. Her thinking is like, I'm not working. What am I doing? I should watch the kids. But the thing is that I'm not just watching the kids. When I go over to our house, it is messy. When I clean, come back, messy. And when I tell her about it, she doesn't want to hear it. Because I keep telling her, I said, this is a trigger for me. Every time I walk into your apartment, the way it is a trigger, particularly when I do my best to clean it with my bad back and all. Sometimes I have to do little by little throughout the day. Okay. I cleaned up her kitchen table the last time. I spent 2 hours. Okay. Clean it off. You saw the picture of it, the video of it. And yet, all she thinks about is going out and have fun. I want to have fun. I want to have fun. I said to her, you need to find the babies. Oh, I get my room in order. She took the week off so she can get her room in order, her house in order. She has not cleaned once. I walk in there today. They had pizza crust outside of the garbage can, the garbage bag. Not even in the garbage bag, outside of the garbage bag. And she just left it. I know it was there since Saturday because that's when the kids had pizza. When I spoke to them, I'm sorry, Sunday when I spoke to them. Okay, so this is what I have to deal with. So anyway, so because she went out over the weekend now, she didn't call me and nothing like that for the past couple of days, except for when she wants to know if I was what time I was coming in the morning. So I just said to her, I said, listen, I was on the phone with my daughter. I said, I'll talk to you after that. I'm not talking to you. I'm on the phone with Alyssa. We're playing a game together. And I just text her what time I'll get there. So now she want to come and wants to act friendly. now, right? Because again, it goes back to what I say, right? This happens time and time again. Then they were trying to get me to stay, right? And I was like, nope, not staying. So she came in uh from the funeral. She walks into the house, and I said to her, you know, you said you was going to a funeral. Okay, you said you was going to get something to eat afterwards. It is now Minister 7. Oh, such and such boyfriend kidnapped me. That's what she keeps saying. Oh, he kidnapped me, or he kidnapped me. I was like, don't play that shit. Because again, they're trying to use these words to try to scare me to get me to stay. Like if I got said I'd be kidnapped. Like how they used to, drive around in vans, and when I would walk home, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever, you know. So then, I get as soon as I left now, I'm checking my Facebook. I get a message. All of a sudden, everybody's now checking my one of my page that I have on Facebook called Black Fitness Models. Okay, it's a page I dedicated to Black women who, uh, you know, who are into fitness. It's not a service. It's just a tribute page. It has Serena Williams and you know other fitness celebrities. So I get this from this. See, I got a notification that this person like, what's his name? Justice L. And I'm just like, where's my justice? Right? To these fanatical religious idiots. Yes, I call them idiots. The sheeps. Okay? Who want to try to silence me for speaking the truth because they're so indoctrinated with a lie, with a bullshit lie. And they're too afraid to learn the truth because they've been so scared of the truth that they think that their soul is gonna go to hell. Like I said, if heaven is so great, you keep speaking about heaven. Hey, go kill yourself. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Uh, I would, I was, I would say this: if heaven is so great, then why are you on here on earth? If you think heaven is so great, why are you here on earth struggling? Okay, so let me apologize for saying that. I take that back. That should have never came out the way it came out. I'm not advocating for anybody to do that, and I definitely, is sympathetic to people, particularly TIs, who go through this horrible experience and end up committing, suicide and such. So, I do apologize for that. Let me just say that before I move on. Um, so one of the again, so this is what they'll do. All right. So anyway, let's check out this because there are others. Let's check out this person page. Um, let's click on who this person is. Click on again. I talk about how people used to walk in front of me, walking towards me, doing this, and I keep saying this all the time. Listen, I don't really care who you know, and all of my any of my exes date. That's that's their business. Okay, and if you think that you're going to try to get me into some jealous, rage or what have you, It's not gonna work. I've never been that way. I might, everybody gets jealous, but there's a certain degree of jealous, okay? And I don't take that to that sort of level because it makes no sense, okay? It makes no sense at all, okay? And again, they'll always get these Negropeans, right? These Negropeans, okay? I guess dude must be a male dancer or something. All right, look at this shit. Anyway, hey, if that's what they like, that's what they like. Okay. Another. Let's see here. Let me pause this for a minute. Okay. Um. So this image up here is from a post that came up on my Facebook um stories. And whenever there's a woman wearing a certain color, like she's wearing brown, and I view it on my phone or on a computer, there's always police sirens. Just as how I brought this into this program, as soon as I did that, there were police sirens going off. Okay. Again, I didn't get to record it because I was looking for the image and I paused the video so I can find it. But as soon as I brought it up, they were police sirens. But this is what they'll do, right? Because you have been conditioned, I have been conditioned a certain way. Um, and in those ways, they attack you psychologically, right? Or through noise campaign, through surveillance, and so forth. Um, all right, so let me go back to again, whenever again me and Pam go through this in the past as well as over the weekend, this is what they'll do. All of a sudden, I'll get people liking certain comments that I made from a year ago or a few years ago. All of a sudden, these people just simply happen to find these comments, right? And all of a sudden, now they're either commenting on it or they're liking it, right? So I guess it must be going through my pictures or what have you, right? But again, it's just certain particular people, right? They're either very religious or they're dudes. Yeah, whenever me and Pam get into an argument and I leave, this is what will happen. Um, and I want to dive into that because again, and as a TI, like I said, I not only do I experience being a TI, but I study it. Right, I pay very close attention to what I'm thinking when I see they do certain things, to what I'm feeling. Okay, and it is the best way that you can identify your trigger words and your anchors. Okay, also how they use wordplay. Like for example, like as I came in, also I forgot about this when I came in when not when I came when Pam came in, you know, and I'm like, hey, go on the whole day. It's like, come on, I want to get home early, Of course, she never thinks about those things, right? Don't even ask me, hey, what time, uh, do you want to go home? What time? Nothing. Okay. Anyway, uh, so these words, like when she came in, she's like, oh, my friend's boyfriend kidnapped me and all this stuff, right? Understand how they play on words, and I'm going to talk about that, right? In the website psychologicalharassment.com. This is a very detailed website about the tactics that they use, right? It explains a lot, okay? And so, condition words, the identification words or trigger words, Ivan Pavlov. Right? You ever heard of Pavlov dog? Okay, this is the psychologist that invented the what is called what is it? And I just had psychology too. Um, hmm, can't even think about it right now. Hopefully, it'll come back to me. But anyway, he coined a certain psychological term, right? So, a tactic that is sometimes used on the victim is that the group doing the psychological harassment will start using a word. Different action can also be used that is not commonly used to identify themselves and to identify themselves as being part of this group because the word is now associated to a group, and it not just could be a group, it could be an action, right? A thing, a person, right? That is psychologically attacking the victim. It can become threatening in the sense that the victim identifies an enemy, can expect a form of attack or threat, or simply identifies and associate the word to the group and uh, the repetitive attacks and their results. The word is conditioned to a threat, the group, and a possible coming attack. Now that the victim has been conditioned to associate a threat, the group, and the attack to an uncommon word, a more common word is used that is conditioned and associated in the same way to the same threat, an enemy, or a possible coming attack. The word itself can also be associated to a threat, an indirect threat, or physical violence, for example, or a degrading theme that is not recognized by the general public, which can increase the victim's uh, threat response. This can destabilize the victim further by confusing them and introducing and inducing more paranoia where the victim is wondering who is who, friend or foe, and can leave them responding more to more possible threats. The conditioned word can become what some have termed a trigger word, where the victim explode in rage or to the threat and physically attack an innocent and unaware person, making them a victim of physical violence and making them both victims of this tactic, strategy, and phenomena. So for me, like when they do this, especially with whenever me and parent get into an argument, and what they'll try to do, because as a black man, they'll attack your manhood, right? This is what white supremacists do. Particularly white men, they have this envy, this penis envy of black men. Okay, so they gotta attack your. They think by attacking your I shouldn't say manhood, but they think by attacking your sexual organ, right, or your sexuality. Okay, they try to use that as a degrading theme. But my self worth is not in my penis. It is not in my sexuality. My self worth is who I am. Okay, it encompass all of those things, but it's not generally one of those things. Okay, so I don't care if you send some dude with a 12-inch dick for her. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit about that. Okay, that has never. I would never be jealous of another man who got a bigger penis. I don't have penis envy. Okay, understand that. So when they do this, they think they're attacking me and my manhood, but they're not. What they're showing me is how small that they think, how they have this penis envy, right? You know what I'm saying? And listen, I understand the mentality of a man because I'm a man, and certain types of dudes, it doesn't matter what color they are. If they're well endowed, they're well endowed, and they know women love those things. Some women love those things, right? And that's just the way it is. So I have no issue with that. But they try to do those things to try to form this, try to get me into this jealous mode or what have you. And really, like I said, when you're in a relationship with somebody, and you're always going to be jealous. I shouldn't say always going to be jealous, but initially you're jealous, right? But you get over it. You get over it. That's and it's all part of the process. Okay. So when they try to use these, you know, agents, I would say, and then what that shows me is how they have been using men, particularly black men who are well endowed, to cause, emotional havoc in, women's lives. And this is, and the fact that because you have these ignorant people who don't understand what's being done, not realizing that they're being used to harm not only themselves, but the people that look like them, okay? And black women, which include black women. So, like I said, those things don't work with me, okay? You can love a person, and, like I said, jealousy is just a natural part of nature. But what they have done is able to, and they've done this to a lot of people. This is why when you see, um, and this is done purposely. Okay, this is done purposely, particularly if you're a TI. They will try to manipulate you to the point where, like I just read, you will fly into this rage, okay, because of the psychological tactics. And you see, they get away with it because, again, it is in the psychological realm. And then they want to talk about, they brought somebody named Justice, like, or what he's what. I mean, it's really is ridiculous. So I'm gonna just say it. Like I said, where is my justice from these people that's doing this? Okay, so there you go. So let me just continue a little bit, and then I'm gonna end the video. So we're talking about rejection and stuff like that. So in my relationship with Pam for the 12 years we've been together, constantly being rejected, constantly, and I never picked up on it. She's always like, "Oh, you know, I'm having flashbacks and such," but she wasn't having flashbacks when she was cheating with her ex. I guess the kind of flashback she was having was maybe with her ex, you know. But she always tried to use those excuses until she's ready. And what you got to understand, TIs, is that, you know, there are a lot of people out there who've experienced a lot of trauma. And one of the things that these perps will do is psychologically manipulate you, even drug you to the point where they try to put you in a position where you can cause someone trauma. Okay? You got to understand that, right? They are covert things that they do to you that you don't quite realize and understand. And again, they get away with it. You see, because there is no evidence that you can look at a person who have been psychologically conditioned and manipulated, brainwashed into self-destruction unless you have an expert who understands how this is done. And, you know, one of the things that I realize, particularly with this technology, okay, is how they induce thoughts. They wait until you get into a particular situation, okay? And then they will induce these thoughts into your mind, okay? And this is one thing that I understand very well. But now, when you understand, now you can identify those thoughts, right? And again, it's like, they'll say, well, you have a double personality. No, it's not a double personality per se. It's thoughts that were conditioned into your mind using psychological process as well as technology. Silent sound spread spectrum. I talk about these things. Okay. So, let me go through this. Verbal maneuvering to hide direct threats. Sometimes a lot of verbal maneuvering and planning is used to hide or reduce the visibility and obviousness of a direct threat. For example, if a group makes subtle hints or insinuation about you being a homosexual, for example, even though they probably know you're not, and then one of them says something like, all homosexuals should be killed, it's an indirect threat to you because of the maneuvering. Or it's less visible or obvious, but it's still a direct threat or threat aimed at you. As indicated on the home page, degrading themes are often used to prevent victims from coming forward, and this is often the way they use in combination with a threat or threats. The victim may have some reservations about claiming that he felt personally threatened by a threat that is made towards homosexuals. Other degrading themes, ethnic and religion, can also be used. Degrading theme cannot only can read that over again. Degrading theme can be not only disturbing to a person, but also threatening. They are used to attack a person's dignity, self image, self esteem, induce stress, and often used in combination with negative conditioning. A group can try to make a targeted individual form degrading and perversive images by using combinations of words, descriptions, sounds, and action. When degrading themes are used on individuals, the targeted individual can suffer from a psychological disorder that some psychologists have termed intrusive thoughts. Also, as stated on the first page, insinuation, even though they are false, can have different effect on an individual. Insinuation of being a pedophile, a homosexual, a criminal, a liar, etc., is a form of attack on the person's self-image, dignity, and integrity, self-esteem, and can induce stress. One action that the victim can have when targeted is to have the feeling of feeling guilty of something. Pedophilia is at the top of the list in hated things in our society, and being labeled a pedophile has serious consequences. It would therefore explain why this is often claimed to be used. Okay? When degrading themes or different insinuations are used, it can also be a form of catch 22. If a person's claim of being psychologically harassed or targeted are dismissed and they are told that it's all in their heads, why do you have thoughts of being a pedophile and homosexual? Why do you feel threatened by it, etc.? Given the fact that psychiatry is often used to discredit the victim of psychological harassment or psychological warfare, the psychological construction of a catch 22 may work on some of the victims. Another way degrading themes are used is to try to embarrass the victim or to repetitively humiliate the victim because of the visible signs such as blushing or because of the degrading theme involved. Degrading themes are often used to try to prevent people from coming forward, and psychiatry is often used as a threat in the sense of building false profiles. So understand this, okay? So I'm not gonna get into the rest of it. Again, you guys can read up on it at the psychologicalharassment.com website. Very informative website. Um, but yeah, you know, this is ongoing. It's gonna continue. I know they hate that I expose what it is that they're doing, and I will continue to expose it regardless. Like I said, I went to use my Metro card, and you know, uh, it says not valid, what have you. So I got to figure that one out and see what's going on with that. But that's what they do. They want you, and what they'll do sometimes, because they know you're on disability, and at the end of the month you may be low on funds, and they'll try to make you spend money. You know, because of the constant threat of taking away your disability. So they want to leave you with nothing, no money. And this is one of the things what they'll do is that they'll induce people, like every time at the end of the month, my daughter, all of a sudden she wants, every day she got to have something. I want a sandwich. I want this. I want that. And I'm like, nope. You can. There's food at home. When you get home, you can have it. And sometimes I buy her things, but it's imagine I have two kids. So if I'm picking them both up after school, and they both want something from the store, okay, and it's usually sometimes it's a sandwich or what have you, with a soda, chips, what have you, right? And I gotta, my own, and now I had to pay full fare for a MetroCard now. So, like I said, they always gotta find some way of trying to, take money from you, okay? Knowing the fact that you're on disability, right? And then something what they'll do with Pam also is that if they know, sometimes it doesn't happen every month, but on some months where I have low on funds, you know, she'll pull something like this, right? Whereas, like I said, she's like, I'll give you $50 because, since you're paying Ethan's phone bill and you got the Netflix and all this other stuff, I'll put $50 towards it, and then she wouldn't do it, right? And then she'll like all of a sudden bring up this thing about, oh, I got somewhere to go. Can you watch the kids? Like today, right? So I guess over the weekend, they're trying to make me feel jealous or what have you. So they figure, well, you know what? Oh well, we're gonna let her not call him, not say anything to him, or what have you. When you speak to the kids, she's only gonna speak to him when he's on the phone with the kids, or what have you, such and such, and blah blah blah. Like I said, they've done it too many times. I know, but I decided that this was the last time that this was going to happen. So, and they hate this. They hate when you get the strength, right, and the clarity, and you're like, no more. This is it. That's it. This is the last time. Nope, not doing this anymore. Because see, they want the other person to be like that to you. See, they always want you to be dependent, whether dependent on the state or dependent on your your what's the word? Uh, I forgot the word. Anyway, always want you to be dependent on a certain someone, but like that they can use against you, where they can try to make you feel small, but they're the ones that's small, because you see they need to be in a gang, in a cult, to feel important. Okay, I don't need that to feel important. You see, and when they ask you what makes you so important that the government would do this to you, you just look at them and said, because I'm important. That's what you got to say to them, because I'm important. See, they think small of you because they want you to think small of yourself. This is why when you come into the truth, you start researching the truth, they'll attack you. Okay? Because you see, this is something that happens within the religious organization, right? Whereas uh, when you have knowledge and you can uh, dispel their lies, okay, they'll try to knock you down, right? Because you see, they're elevated by lies. Just remember that, and by crimes that they do. This is the society that we live in today. It has become a society of narcissists. The majority of people within the society are narcissists, and it's not their fault. It is those within the psychiatric industry, those within the security agencies of the United States government that are doing this. And so, what happens when society becomes indifferent to the torture of people within the society, right? The abuse of people within the society, right? Just look at Germany. We know what happened. But now, not only can they weaponize one group or one ethnic group, they can weaponize all. And they can weaponize them in such a way that they'll work together. Okay? They'll work together to attack you as a TI, but they won't work together to better each other's lives. Particularly being a black person, I know this. I know this personally. You have black people working with the very same people, okay, that are robbing from them, stealing, murdering them, lying on them. Because why? They have created an villain. They've created a villain in which these different groups can come together to attack. So what we're looking at here is going to be much worse than Nazi Germany. And that's all I got to say. I will see you guys on the next Target Individual program, Target Individual Experience.